job as a wayfinder to finish what they started.
Moana, show our people just how far we'll go.
Moana 2 brings audiences back to the vast, shimmering ocean that first introduced us to a fearless wayfinder determined to restore the heart of her world. This sequel expands the scope of the original adventure, transforming what began as a personal journey of self-discovery into a larger, more dangerous mission that reaches beyond her island and into uncharted waters. The film builds on the legacy of the first story while raising the emotional and visual stakes, presenting a tale that feels both grander and more intimate at the same time. Instead of simply repeating the formula of the original, it explores what it truly means to lead, to carry responsibility, and to answer a call that refuses to stay quiet. Set sometime after Moana has embraced her identity as a master wayfinder, the story finds her more confident, more skilled, and deeply connected to her people. Her island is thriving, her bond with the ocean remains strong, and her curiosity about what lies beyond the horizon has only grown stronger. However, peace never lasts forever in stories shaped by myth and destiny. A new threat begins to stir from the farthest reaches of the ocean, one that is tied to ancient legends and forgotten voyages. When signs and omens begin to appear, Moana realizes that the sea is calling her once again, not for exploration alone, but for protection. The emotional heart of the sequel revolves around Moana's growth from a brave daughter proving herself to a true leader responsible for others. She is no longer simply searching for who she is. She now understands her purpose. But understanding purpose and carrying its weight are two very different things. The film carefully examines that tension, showing how leadership can be both inspiring and isolating. As Moana prepares for a new voyage, she must gather a crew, trust others with responsibilities, and accept that she cannot shoulder everything alone. One of the most exciting aspects of Moana 2 is the return of familiar characters alongside new faces who bring fresh energy to the adventure. Maui returns with his larger-than-life personality, playful arrogance, and surprising vulnerability. Their dynamic continues to be one of the strongest elements of the story. While they share humor and banter, there is a noticeable evolution in their relationship. They are no longer strangers learning to trust each other. They are allies with shared history. Yet even strong partnerships can be tested when new challenges arise and old insecurities resurface. The sequel also introduces new companions who join Moana on her voyage. These characters represent different islands and different perspectives, expanding the world beyond the shores we previously knew. Each new crew member brings unique skills, cultural traditions, and personal motivations. Through them, the film emphasizes unity, heritage, and the idea that the ocean connects rather than divides. The journey becomes not just about stopping a looming danger, but about rediscovering ancient pathways that once linked distant communities. Visually, Moana 2 elevates everything that made the original stunning. The ocean feels even more alive, shifting between calm, reflective beauty and terrifying, storm-driven chaos. The animation captures sunlight dancing across waves, bioluminescent creatures glowing beneath the surface, and towering cliffs that guard hidden secrets. The filmmakers clearly push the boundaries of scale, taking viewers into deeper waters and darker realms than before. Every frame feels carefully crafted to balance realism with mythic grandeur. The central conflict of the story emerges from an ancient force tied to forgotten navigation, roots and disrupted balance in the natural world. As Moana uncovers fragments of history, she learns that past voyagers once united the islands in ways that have since been lost. Something has broken that connection, and its consequences threaten not just one island but the entire oceanic world. This revelation reframes the journey as both a rescue mission and a rediscovery of identity for an entire civilization. Emotionally, the film leans into themes of legacy and continuity. Moana reflects on her ancestors more deeply this time, not only as guiding spirits but as individuals who faced impossible odds and chose courage anyway. She struggles with doubt, questioning whether she can live up to the strength of those who came before her. These quieter moments ground the spectacle, reminding audiences that beneath every epic quest lies a very human fear of not being enough. Music once again plays a vital role in shaping the film's tone. The soundtrack blends powerful anthems with softer, introspective ballads that mirror Moana's inner conflict. The songs feel designed to be both emotionally resonant and culturally rich, honoring Polynesian rhythms and storytelling traditions while embracing cinematic scale. Maui's numbers bring humor and swagger, while Moana's solos highlight vulnerability and determination. The music not only drives the narrative forward, but also deepens the emotional connection to the characters. As the voyage unfolds, the stakes continue to escalate. Massive sea creatures, treacherous weather patterns, and mysterious realms hidden beneath the waves challenge the crew at every turn. Yet the true tension often lies in the choices Moana must make. Should she risk everything to pursue a dangerous clue? Should she protect her crew by turning back? These dilemmas test her leadership in ways that brute strength alone cannot solve. The relationship between Moana and her family also evolves in meaningful ways. Her parents understand her calling more than they once did, but that does not erase their fear. The film portrays the emotional complexity of loving someone whose destiny demands risk. Farewells feel heavier, conversations feel more honest, and the idea of home becomes something both grounding and fragile. One of the sequel's strengths is its willingness to slow down for reflection amid the action. Scenes of quiet stargazing, whispered conversations under moonlight, and shared laughter on deck provide balance to the high-intensity sequences. These moments remind viewers that adventure is not only about danger, but also about connection. The crew bonds through storytelling and shared meals, creating a sense of community that mirrors the larger theme of unity across islands. The climax of Moana 2 delivers a spectacle that surpasses the original in scale. Storms rage, ancient powers awaken, and the ocean itself seems to hold its breath. Moana must confront the central threat not simply with courage, but with understanding. Instead of defeating an enemy through destruction alone, the resolution emphasizes restoration and harmony. The solution lies in reconnecting what was severed, in healing rather than conquering. Maui's role in the final act is particularly impactful. Beneath his comedic bravado, he reveals layers of loyalty and respect for Moana's leadership. Their partnership feels earned, built on trust forged through past trials. The emotional payoff underscores how far both characters have come since their first meeting. Beyond the spectacle, the film leaves audiences with a message about resilience and collective strength. Moana learns that leadership does not mean having all the answers. It means being brave enough to seek them. She recognizes that the ocean's call is not a burden but a bridge connecting generations. By the end of the story, she stands not only as a wayfinder for her island but as a symbol of unity for many. The release of Moana 2 generated excitement long before audiences saw a single frame. Early glimpses hinted at a darker tone and a broader world, sparking anticipation about how the sequel would expand the mythology. Trailers highlighted sweeping ocean vistas, glimpses of new characters, and emotional exchanges that suggested deeper stakes. Fans who grew up with the original found themselves eager to return, while a new generation prepared to discover the magic for the first time. In many ways, Moana 2 feels like a natural evolution rather than a simple continuation. It respects the spirit of the first film while daring to explore new emotional territory. The humor remains sharp, the heart remains strong, and the sense of wonder remains intact. Yet everything feels heightened: more expansive landscapes, more complex relationships, and more layered themes. By the final moments, as the ocean settles and dawn breaks over the horizon, the story comes full circle. Moana stands at the edge of the water once more, but she is no longer the uncertain girl who once questioned her place. She is a confident leader who understands that the horizon will always call, and that answering it is not about leaving home behind but about carrying it forward. The film closes on a note of hope, suggesting that there are still countless stories waiting beyond the waves. Moana 2 ultimately succeeds because it balances spectacle with sincerity. It offers thrilling action sequences, breathtaking animation, and memorable music, but at its core, it remains a story about identity, heritage, and the courage to unite. It reminds viewers that the ocean is vast and unpredictable, much like life itself, but that with trust, connection, and determination, even the greatest storms can be navigated.